Alright, we're at the grave of Carrie Nation, 1846 to 1911. She was a folk figure, prohibitionist. She was a former wife of an alcoholic, and she took to Kansas City area, busting up saloons with her hatchet. She was 6 foot tall, 175 pounds, as she was described, and she dressed in black and white clothing, and she'd always be accompanied with a bunch of other women singing hymns, and she would march into these saloons, and she would proceed to sing, pray, and throw a lot of biblical sounding language out there, and then she'd take her hatchet to the barrels of whiskey and alcohol. She always got fined. She always got in a lot of trouble, but she kind of paid for her fines, earning up to $3,000 a week, doing speeches and selling hatchet souvenirs. So she was making some serious bank, breaking up these saloons and whatnot. She was born in Kentucky and came from a fairly wealthy family, and she was very religious growing up, student of the Bible, but she always had some ill health. The family eventually moved to Belton, Missouri, here where we're at today, when she was a young child, and she got her teaching certificate from the state school. She believed that being a drunk was a punishment from God. So if you drank, you were being punished by God, and if you supported it, even if you didn't drink, you were being tested by God. So she joined and founded the Women's Temperance Union in the area, and she really got after all the saloons that were selling alcohol, both legally and illegally at the time. She dealt with a lot of dishonest, police officers and town officials. They kind of ignored what was going on in town, and so she kind of took it in her own hands to, like I said, break up these saloons. She has said she was arrested over 30 times in 10 years, but a lot of those could have ended in more arrests. But she's breaking up illegal saloons, so there probably could have been a lot more arrests if she was actually breaking up, legal places. But she's doing illegal ones, and they didn't want any attention brought to them. Local newspapers called her the Smasher's Mail, the Hatchet, the Home Defender. Like I said, she was big. She toured the world with her message, her religious message, and her prohibition stances. Failing health brought her kind of back to Kansas, in Leavenworth area, where she stayed at a sanatorium, and she died at 65. She's buried beside her mother here. I'm not sure exactly which stone is her mother's here. They're very hard to read. But she's buried here beside her mother, if her mother even has a stone. Like I said, we're here in Belton, Missouri, at the Belton Cemetery. So this is in Cass County, Missouri, kind of south and east of the Kansas City area. Very simple, large stone, faithful to the cause of prohibition. She hath done what she could do. So she took it in her death. I mean, even the epitaph on her tombstone. So there you go, guys. The grave of Carrie Nation, the prohibitionist folk figure, here in the Belton Cemetery in Belton County, or Belton, Missouri, which is in Cass County. Very easy tombstone to find in this well taken care of cemetery. The main building, which you can see down there, is the main entrance of the cemetery. You take a left right at that main building there and keep coming. She's on the side that backs up to the houses. Like I said, it's one of the larger headstones on this side. You can see the Hargis stone pretty large across the street here, across the road. Very easy to find. I'll put a description in the, I'll put a GPS description in the, I'll put a GPS in the description so you guys can find it if you want to come in here and visit yourself. The grave of Carrie Nation.